Let's start in Wisconsin, where voter restrictions could still be a huge issue this session. The court could rule on a new law in which the state requires voters to show government ID before casting a ballot.
This worries me because let's remember that this is the same Supreme Court that struck down Section 4 of the Voting Rights Act that required pre-clearance in states with a history of racial discrimination in voting practices. And I think that we need to be really wary, especially of an issue like voter ID.
I just want to ask you a question. So I need an ID to do basically anything in this country. I need an ID to buy cigarettes and some medicine I just bought recently that apparently is used for meth. At the pharmacy, they need my ID to make sure, I guess, I wasn't making meth. But to vote in this country, you don't need to have any kind of identification.
No problem. I have no problem with requiring an ID for people to go and vote. I think it should be free. If it's not free, I think that's...
What does that mean, it's free?
Essentially, it's a poll tax. You have to go and you have to pay to get a license in some states. And if you have to go and pay to get a license, that is not fair. You do not have to pay to vote. You should not have to pay to vote.
I also think the choice to purchase a drug or nicotine or a cigarette is very different from something that's in the Constitution, guaranteed. We shouldn't have any barriers to participate in the democracy.
I don't think I should just walk into a voting booth and say, I'm Mary Smith, just give me this ballot and I'll vote for whomever. What's to stop me from going to any other voting booths and voting for whomever?
The evidence is contrary to your fears, and that we don't have widespread voter fraud where IDs were not already required. We're fighting a problem that doesn't exist.
Too much for me. To not give any example of any proof of identity whatsoever, yeah, I think that's crazy.